Our democratic rights have not been granted to us by a benevolent government. They were fought for by generations before us. People have died to give us our ability to march on the streets, and we are not going to allow a fascistic government or corrupt police to deny us these rights. Today is a message to the council, the police and the government of this country. These streets are ours, and we are going to take them today.
Thursday the 20th of May 2004. This is a demonstration at Moulsecoombe in Brighton. Camera operator is PC Palmer, Charlie Papa 083. Comms officer is
PC Pete Searle, Charlie Sierra 225.
And driver is,
for the day, PC Graham Masters AM 271.
And thank God it's only for the day.
The main aim of it was a big publicity stunt. It was simply to get people knowing that there was an arms company in Brighton.
For those that haven't been up the front there are two aspects to this. That's 0730, a protest activity took place against premises called EDO MBM. The significant thing for those premises is that they make bits that go on the wings of Tornado aircraft that drop bombs in Iraq.
So there were sex-averse D-lock by a neck to a set of Harris fencing, like the cages you get around building sites. That was set up in the middle of Home Farm Road, effectively blocking access to and out of the factory, and we were locked on the inside by necks by D-locks.
I think that the EDO probably realised that they were known about and their cover was blown, as it were. The first direct action really gave them a flavour of what the campaign was going to be like, that we weren't just going to be about symbolic bearing witness, you know, quiet demos and banner holding, that it was going to be a campaign that had a full toolbox of tactics, one of which was going to be direct action, and that it was going to be targeted at the workers to make them realise, you know, it was about trying to work on the workers, trying to make them realise what they were doing and that they were responsible for their action.
I was a miner, I was a docker, I was a railwayman between the wars. I raised a family in time of austerity with sweat at the boundary between the wars.
There was a day of action called Carry On Up the Injunction, where protesters dressed as Mark Lynch
It was basically worth it for the moment where Mark Lynch had to serve injunction papers on several Mark Lynches. It was a particularly good moment.
So you failed with the injunction, you've generally failed in the criminal law, and you think this dodgy little bylaw is going to stop us? Report away, Inspector.
Okay, sir.
It's a sign that says it's closed. I wish to register a complaint. Can I come through, please? You've closed the police station.
Closed the police station.
So what happens if a crime's reported now?
Crime can be made on 0845 60 79 99.
But a police station's closed. What's the point of having a police service if your police station is closed? Is this a lunch break? Do you want us to bring you some donuts?
My consent to any government that does not deny a man a living wage. Go find the young men, never to fight again. Bring up the banners from the days gone by.
That was worth waiting for.
You're my hero.
Oh well.
Go on, let's go to tempo.
That is a relief. We've got to hit a pub, but not until I say get to see Brenda and say, oh well. That's what the British public keep in the arms trade.
hearts of this nation.
I feel as if I got my life back. I can finally get on with my life. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to get very drunk, and I'm going to consider my roles within the campaign for the future, which must continue.
As one of the outsiders, was seeing half of that criminal factory in the car park through the broken windows is one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen in my life. And right now it still hasn't sunk in, but I think this might be the best feeling I've had in at least a year and a half. Before the verdict came in, as far as I was concerned, having the managing director finally on public trial, obviously he wasn't on trial, but to be asked the questions that now it's been in open court can be made public, that was the victory. Opening the eyes of 12 people to what was happening in Gaza, that was the victory. By that stage the verdict was irrelevant, but it is a great relief to be sitting here and not in Lewis prison. Oh, at this stage, can I give a big thank you to what has to be the best defence team in Britain. Sorry, a quote from the journalist Robert Fisk, who states that if respectable people continue to be labelled as anti-Semitic, then anti-Semitism will become respectable. It is exactly these kind of wild accusations from zealots that are making it difficult to distinguish between friend and foe for them. If they're going to continue to label people who simply stand up for human rights as anti-Semitic, then soon that will be a badge of pride, and that must never happen. Well, considering that the whole point of this is that we have broken no law, hopefully it will set a precedent for people of this country to realise that in a liberal democracy we are the checks and balances, and where we have failed to gain the government action, gain the police taking an investigative role, if you have an honestly held belief that that company is committing war crimes, it is the right thing to do, to go and decommission it. I don't believe we've set a precedent with this case. I believe we have simply proved again that aspects of the British arms trade are morally bankrupt. The government and police refuse to do anything about it. It is up to us as citizens to not stand idly by. Also told if anyone's got 250,000 spare, we can start a private prosecution. There will be a collection bucket outside.
Are you still working here? You are all child murdering scum.
Hey!
That's been agreed by a jury of my peers and by a judge, a senior judge. How does it feel to have it proven in court that you are scum? How does it feel to know that when people come into your workplace and smash it up with hammers, they are considered to be right? The attack on your factory was completely disproportionate. We should have used Hellfire missiles and white phosphorus. Unfortunately, you can't buy it at your local Wicks. Covers, do you do Hellfire missiles? The Crown Court has agreed that the police force, and I won't call them a service, because that would have implied they provide a service, are your hired security guards.
How much of our money have you wasted?
How much of money did you spend on me? God, I feel so flattered. Why don't you go and catch some criminals, like the ones in there? Oh, and guess what? Our MP, Caroline Lucas, will be making sure there is a public inquiry. And since I voted for her...
Shame!
You what? Oh, and to all the anarchists...
Shame!
Shame on you for not voting!
What's your MP ever done for you now?
At least the person I voted for was a good witness. As anarchists, you probably think Paul Hills is an autonomous individual.
No, he's a lizard person.
We all know Paul Hills is working for us. We paid him to be the managing director of your company, and all the money comes from Iran. Your managing director is in the pay of Iran.
You're saying we're funded by Iran?
No, but Paul Hills must be, because how else could somebody who's supposedly ex-military and trained in interrogation techniques not even be able to handle questions from his own counsel? Something a bit dodgy there. Tony Blair's convincing. Not only were you caught out on all the previous lies and all your previous court cases, you couldn't even maintain a lie for 1 hour in that court. Watching you squirm was the best week of my entire life. Watching, seeing half of your genocide machine in the car park was the most beautiful sight I've seen in my life. Hearing you admit that you not only cleared up a crime scene, but that the police helped clear up and handed you the information, confirmed every suspicion I have about how corrupt our system is. But this last month has confirmed that everything I've done for my entire life is right.
Desert us not, we are between the wars.